sunflower. Well, g'day, curd nerds. G'day, curd nerds. Well, g'day, curd nerds. Well, g'day, curd nerds. Well, g'day, curd nerds. Well, g'day, curd nerds. Oh, g'day, curd nerds. Oh, goodness me, I don't know what's going on there. Welcome, everybody. This is Us the Cheeseman, episode 348. You'd think I know how to start one of these things, wouldn't you? Seeing I've done it 348 times. Anyway, big shout out to all of the members and patrons this week. No new YouTube members, but thank you so much. Except we have some gifted memberships that are coming through right now as we speak. Fantastic. Thank you to Okie Native. There you go. Thank you so much. One membership, and Mango picked it up. Fantastic. So thank you to all the YouTube members, and of course thank you to all of the patrons. We do have a new patron this week, Fallon Makota. Thank you, Fallon, for your patronage over there on Patreon. So what do you get for your membership? Well, you get my undying love, of course, and you get early access to videos, and in fact you even get access to oh, the music is loud, sorry, forgot to turn it down, sorry Michelle. See, I told you I'm totally out of whack today. There you go, I fixed it. Let me know if the audio's okay there in the chat. That will be lovely. Sorry, I'll do the thank you again. Thank you to all the patrons and to the YouTube members for supporting the show. Without your help, the lights wouldn't stay on here, and the Curd Nerd light wouldn't go off as regularly as it does. But thank you so much. All good. All right, so the music's gone. Well, it's not down. It's lower. Sorry, I forgot to turn the knob. There's a knob to turn, and it didn't get turned. Okay. Now, you may notice that the subscriber count, if it's going to come up in a minute, may do. No, that says subscribe. Hang on, let me fix it. Wrong one. We'll get it in a minute. There we go. The subscriber count has gone up by a few thousand. That's because the meme is doing the rounds again. The old Italians, the Italian meme on the Parmesan video. So that's going very well. So thank you to all the people who have subscribed lately. And if this is your first show, thank you very much for joining. What else we got? Right, so what videos have we got coming up? Before I say g'day to a few people, let me just find my Trello board. Okay, over to the second monitor. So the Trello, I use Trello, which is a tool which is free. It's for project management, so this is kind of a project. So we've got the orange and walnut kefili. That is out there now, which is fantastic. So if you haven't seen it already, go and check out the channel and you'll see it again. The video I'm creating at the moment is how I enhance my veggie patch for retirement. That's a working title. I'll think of something a little bit more catchier, I suppose. And I'm working on the cheeses from the Fromaggio machine, so that should be cool as well. And we've got a super chat, and Elvis, weird super chat. So don't know if I'll read that out on air. So the veggie patch one, I'm doing the Fromaggio one, and the Valence one, I'm working on the recipe still. So I've filmed one attempt already. I'm yet to film another one. So yeah, so that's going down. Rightio. Let's fix that. Alrighty, all done. So yeah, no shenanigans going on there. Alrighty, so that's the Trello board. Thank you for checking out that. So yeah, that's all fixed. That's super chat. Thank you, but yeah, no thanks. We don't do that sort of thing here. But yeah, that's thrown me off my groove. Right, back again. So let's say g'day to a few people. First person in the chat was myself, of course, testing the system. I was having a bit of trouble this morning with the getting the chat onto the screen, like you can see, like that. So yeah, so that was weird. So not sure what's going on. What's going on? We've got some stuff going on here. Paul gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Paul. That's fantastic. I didn't notice that. I had my screen a little bit too far down. But I really appreciate you jumping in there. So thanks very much, mate. Really appreciate it. And to everybody who grabbed one of those, fantastic. Anyway, saying g'day, of course. And that's for Paul. Pardon me. So, g'day to Shauna, g'day to Paul, of course, who just did the super chat. G'day. The next person along in the stream was, goodness me, fair bit down. We were chitty chatting. Soul Brother, g'day mate, how are you? And Jeff, g'day Jeff, and Fiona, hello Fiona, how are you? Herb, of course. Cool Cat in the UK. We got Nina in Sydney, and where else? Fiona's in Singapore having a holiday, so congratulations, Fiona. Just won asbestos. G'day, mate. Rabid Parrots is a new one. Okie Native. I'll get that right in a minute. We got Dominic and Merv. G'day, Merv, over in Adelaide. Yes, we're getting the hot weather today. We had hot weather yesterday too. Who else did I say? Jose is there, and Matt. G'day, Matt. I'll get to your question in a second. Who else we got? Another Matt. Matt Lloyd over in the UK. World famous Cheeseman. I saw your media again. You're in the media all the time there, mate. I love the way you're promoting your cheese business. Very good indeed. We got Mike, Sissy, YouTube commenter, Hartish, and Harriet and Stanley. Hello, Stanley. Lovely to see you all. Rightio. Now I'm up to date there. So, one thing that I want to say is a big happy anniversary to my wife. So I put this little thing. She may or may not be watching. I'm not sure. She said she might watch. So I'm going to just play this for her. Just she doesn't know this is here. This is pretty cool. Anyway, here we go.
I give you this ring.
I give you this ring.
As a token between us.
As a token between us.
And I call upon.
And I call upon.
These persons here present.
Very nice.
Persons here present.
To witness that I, Gavin John Webber.
To witness that I, Gavin John Webber.
To take
look
the
how young
Selvage.
My goodness.
Selvage.
To be my lawful wedded wife.
To be my lawful wedded wife.
And now, King, you'll take Gavin's ring, put it on his finger, and then say, hold it in his hand.
This only goes for a minute and a half, but it tickles me every time.
And now will you say to him, I give you this ring.
I give you this ring
As a token between us.
as a token between us.
And I call upon.
As I call upon
These persons here present.
these persons here present
To witness that I, Kinley Ann Selvage.
to witness that I, Kinley Ann Selvage,
To take thee, Gavin John Webber.
to take thee, Gavin John Webber,
To be my lawful wedded husband.
to be my lawful wedded husband.
So Kim and Gavin, you have both made the declarations required by law. You have made a solemn and binding contract with each other in the presence of your witnesses here, and I'm very happy to tell you, you are now husband and wife.
Yeah.
lovely. So nice. Yeah, you can see no grey hair there. But yeah, that was to you. Lovely. Thank you so much. Yes, so that's his... yes, I was a petty officer. Whoever said that? Who said that? Okie native. I ended up, but when I left the Navy, as a chief petty officer. So, yeah, so that was cool. There we go. Goodness me. Yes, happy anniversary, Kim. 28 years. And yesterday, we both said... It was yesterday, it wasn't today. It was yesterday. And we both said to each other that we would marry each other again in a heartbeat. But yeah, so young and so innocent. Goodness me. All right, so many super chats coming in. My goodness, so many. Thank you so much. So thank you to Michelle. Appreciate the $10 US, I really do. And thank you to Paul for your super chat as well. Really appreciate it. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, so that's that was our day yesterday. We had a romantic dinner, Chinese takeout. It was nice. And we got some left over for today. Merv says, who's that fella? Yeah, that was me, mate. Yeah, it was a while back now. Good looking rooster back then. Probably still good looking now. I don't know. Put a few kilos on since then. Jose says, I didn't know you were a military man. I'm an infantry sub-officer, retired years ago after an accident. Sorry to hear about your accident, mate. But yeah, thanks for your service, buddy. My pretty wife, yes, and she's still gorgeous now. I can't believe I must be batting above my what's it called? Punching above me weight. I think that's it. Anyway, we talk about cheese in a minute. There is there's a question here somewhere. I know there was one. Matt says, I would love to see a behind the scenes of how you make these live videos. Yeah, look, I can set up a camera in the background. It's not going to be that exciting, I don't think, but I can do something like that. I don't know if I post it on this channel, but yeah, I'll see what I can come up with. It's a good idea. Good content. What's up behind the scenes? What I can do, I'll do probably a members only video for that one. And I can see now, Matt, that you're a member, so yeah, all good. Questions. I know there is a question from the Rabid Parrots. Said, does the Cheeseman make cheese, or is a man made of cheese? I will have different questions for each scenario. Yeah, I just make the cheese. I'm not made of the cheese of, like, the moon made of cheese. If you watch Wallace and Gromit, but yes, I just make the cheese. And you would have seen quite a few videos come out lately. So yeah, I'm on a roll at the moment, which is really good. So you would have noticed quite a few. Well, the feta one was remade. The orange and walnut one came out recently. I'm working on the Valence one. We'll have quite a few cheeses come out of the Formaggio review test thing. So yeah, so that should be good fun. And we have had a couple of shorts this week. We've also had a members only video for those who missed it, who are members. You can go back through the, not through the feed, but have a look on the channel page and you'll see a members only video as well. It's visible to everybody, but only members can play it. Now, Paul's got a question. And he says, it might be interesting for you to review all the cheese books so we know which ones are good depending on your skill level or cheese interest. That is I did a book review a while ago, but I think I had 2 or 3 books at that time. But yeah, I have many books, as you know. And this is only some of them down here. These are all cheese making books. I only have some here. book review, skill level. Yeah, no, good suggestion, Paul. You always come up with the winners. All right. Okay. Dominic says, can you recommend a resource that will help me understand how adjusting cheese parameters will affect the resulting cheese? Indeed, there is a very good resource. I've got it on the shelf for a reason. Now, if you haven't got this book, it's expensive. If you haven't got this book, hopefully it's in focus. There we go. Mastering Artisan Cheese Making by Giannis Caldwell is, for the home cheesemaker, is one of the best resources you can get. I'll do a mini book review. The recipes, the explanations, how to go about mastering the process. It has recipes which are sound. They have pH measurements. What else can I say about this book? It's just a great all-purpose book. If you want to get deep into cheese making and understand by adjusting one thing what will happen, this book is for you, because it's all based on for artisan cheese makers like say Matt Lloyd there in the UK, who have opened their own dairy or cheesery or whatever they call it. It's to perfect, to tweak a recipe. There are basic recipes in here with all the fantastic steps in it, and you can tweak them, and it gives you instructions on what to do to create your own unique cheeses. So this book here, I have it listed in my Amazon store. There's a link down in the description of the stream down below if you want to purchase one, and I get a small cut as an affiliate, which helps the channel grow as well. So anyway, so if you're in for this book, Mastering Artisan Cheese Making, in Australia it's not cheap. To get it here, I think it's about $60-70. Looks like it's $30 in the US from some commenters there on Amazon. All right. So yeah, there you go. I'll pop a link. Have I got a link to my Amazon store? That would be good, wouldn't it? If I could find it. Maybe not. Maybe not there. I can't find it. Oh, go on. Let me just have a hunt around. Take me 2 seconds to find this. Oh, there it is. Right, here we go. All right, so there we go. Anything you purchase off that, I get a small percentage. There's the Amazon page. $60, $62 Australian. There we go. So for those who missed the link, it's in the chat, so you can pick it up there. Okay, and we have another super chat going on there, and that's from Okie Native. Says, any quick ideas on why my last pepper jack batch is coming out dry? I make it and regular pepper jack never has that issue. Yes, indeed. Dry and crumbly cheese is usually because, and what have I done? Ugh. The dogs just kicked me foot pedal, and I can't hit the right switch to turn it off. Sorry. I told you this stream's not going well. Yeah, so adding in chilies to your cheese acidifies the curds a lot more. So when you make regular Monterey Jack, it doesn't come out dry and crumbly. When you add the chilies in, it probably does. So what you can do is shorten the ripening time for your cultures, and stir less and add more moisture into the cheese, and that'll stop the cheese from becoming too dry, or ease off on the chilies is another way. And don't add the chili water. So you know, when I make my pepper jack version, I added the chili water that I boiled the chilies in. really acidic, that water is. So that'll knock your pH, your acidity levels, it'll increase them, so your cheese will go crumbly. So if you omit the chili water and just put in the dry chili flakes, not the dry chili flakes, the boiled chili flakes, then it won't be as dry. So there we go. Matt says, fantastic book, Gav. Also, Homemade Cheese by Paul Thomas is my Bible. Do I have that here? That one there. Yeah, I've read that too, and it's quite in-depth, and it is a good book. So I'll have to reread this one, because this has pH levels in it as well, if I remember rightly. And this is more towards the artisan cheesemaker as well. So Homemade Cheese by Paul Thomas is another one. I don't even know if that's in my Amazon list. I'll have to have a look. But yeah, good book, and I'm pretty sure he's a UK cheesemaker. Let me just see where it was published. And of course it doesn't say that at the front. It says it at the back. First published in... Nope, doesn't say. Paul Thomas works for several years in Edinburgh. Okay, spent 6 years as head cheesemaker at Linburn Farm in the New Forest, where he made many... Oh, the New Forest near Southampton. Made many cheeses. Anyway, so he's from the UK. So yeah, very good cheese-making reference as well. So I'll have to revisit that one again. Matt, thanks for the recommendation. I'll put that one there and see what extra stuff I can glean out of it. So thanks, mate, for the suggestion. Okay. Any other questions? Okie Native says, thank you. I've made at least a dozen batches of pepper jack, and this is the only one that has come out this way. Yeah, so the pepper water is really acidic, so it'll throw your acidity or pH levels off and make your cheese a bit dry. So that don't worry about the recipe changes, but yeah, that's probably the best one. Okay. David says, I've been watching your videos and learning a lot. I'm thinking of getting into cheese making. That is a great idea. Get into cheese making. It is so much fun, for sure. I personally loved making cheese because it is, well, I would say it's calming. It helps you focus. If your head is, it's good for your let me just say, it's good for your mental health. I reckon it is anyway. Probably not so good for your belly, but because you get to eat all the cheeses. But yeah, I think that you really slow down and focus on one specific thing when you're making cheese. So, which is one of the reasons I named my beginner cheese making books Keep Calm and Make Cheese. Because yeah, you really do slow down and focus on that one task. And if you don't, then I think that your cheese, if you're distracted and there's kids running around and dogs and cats living together and all that sort of stuff, then you'll probably find that your cheese making probably won't go as well as it would. But anyway, thanks, David. I hope you do make some cheese, and if you do, send some photos, and I'll tell you how to do that when we get to the gallery. David said, in terms of a cheese cave, I was thinking about a wine fridge with a Bodeva humidor, seasoning 2-way humidity packs, which is about 84%. Is that a reasonable idea, or nuts? As far as keeping the humidity up in your cheese fridge, I tend not to worry about the fridge itself. I worry about the cheeses. So when I'm doing, say, white mold cheeses, I will put them into a ripening box and maintain the humidity in the ripening box by putting a damp towel J cloth, or what do they call it there? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, chucks, they're called here in Australia. It's a dishcloth that's been boiled, and you squeeze it out so no more water comes out, but it's damp. Put it under the mat, and that gets your humidity up to about 85 to 90% humidity. So that works perfectly. So that's how I do it. Ripening boxes for your cheeses, or vacuum pack of wax, and you don't have to worry about the humidity at all. Hello to Titan. Welcome. Dominic says, is there a rule of thumb for when to and when not to add lipase? Yeah, great question. So, adding lipase, I only add it to pasteurised milk. So, oh, goodness me, I've got an error going on here. Let's see if we can get it to work again. Okay, that's working again. Yeah, so lipase. So you don't need it if you're going to use raw milk for your cheese. You will need it if you're using pasteurised milk. Lipase gets destroyed during the pasteurisation process, so that's when you need to add it. You only really need to add it for harder style Italian cheeses, and you only add a little bit, 1/8 of a teaspoon if you're going to use 10 litres of milk. I would even ease back on that if you don't quite like the funky smell. But like I've made a Parmesan or a cheese that cannot be mentioned, the Grana Padano, without lipase, and if you age it for 12 months, it's going to smell funky anyway. It's just the nature of the cheese. By using skim milk, you're using less fat and the same amount of protein. The protein doesn't go out when you skim the milk, it's just the fat does. So yeah, you get this funky flavour. But yeah, lipase, if you're up for it, and you want a bit of piquant flavour in your cheese, then yeah, you can add it. But not for raw milk. If you do, it'll be so overpowering. It'll be just unbelievable. You just won't know what to do with your cheese besides give it to the chickens. Okay. Next. Yeah, great. Not suggestion. Yeah, it's a suggestion. Well, it's a comment. Making cheese helps develop acceptance of delayed gratification. Indeed, I think I made a video about that somewhere, talking about delayed gratification. Next question is from no one? No. Did I miss a question? I don't think I did. What time is it? It's time for the gallery. So let's do that, shall we? I've got to find all the bits for it. There's that one and that one. And the gallery is the place where we showcase all of the homemade cheeses. So let me just bring that up. Here in the second monitor, we have an amazing looking cheese. This one is from Jason. And Jason says, hi Gavin, homegrown cherry tomatoes after a stint in the dehydrator, now residing in a Wensleydale, nicely drying out. Regards, Jason. So that is Jason's Wensleydale with sun-dried tomatoes that he's grown himself. So that looks fabulous. I hope you sanitize the sun-dried tomatoes in the oven for about 15 minutes at 120 degrees Celsius before you added them into the curds. That is the best way to sanitize those types of ingredients, but that is a good looking cheese, and I would definitely do a cheese like that. In fact, that is a great suggestion. So that's dehydrated Tom's Wensleydale. You guys give me all the ideas. Thank you so much. So yeah, so that's Jason's cheese. Well done. Thank you, Jason, for sending that one in. It's a good looking cheese. The next is from Lisa, and I haven't seen Lisa in the chat today. If you're there, just chime in, Lisa. Zombicus officinalis sent these through. Now, it's a long one, and there's lots of photos, but I love a good long email. So here we go. Hi, Gavin. These are pictures of a failed American Munster cheese that I made. Although I clean the cheese fridge on a regular basis, some bee linens must have been floating around in there and started to colonise on the cheeses as they were aging. Penicillium candidum, I believe. It's growing as well. I thought that was pretty cool, so I decided to let nature take its course and transition to the French Munster version. I did not add bee linens to the milk originally, but did help this transition along with the several bee linens washes. After all, this became an experiment. All was well until the 1st of March, when I opened the fridge to check on them, and I got a whammy of a sour-smelling surprise. I use your Petite Munster recipe, which I've made before with great success. Okay, so let's have a look. So they look pretty good at the moment, all basketed up. And there they are, growing with some white mould instead of the orange schmear. And then, that looks rather funky, doesn't it? And there it went all oozy because of that looks like Geotrichum candidum has happened there. All right, so let's have, there's some more notes there. It says, whilst researching your Munster video now to see where I went wrong, I realised I made a major mistake. I did not rub the outsides of the cheeses with salt. If this is the reason they went sour, shame on me. Yes, you need to dry salt the cheeses. So yeah, they bit of a runaway effect, and bee linens needs a little bit of salt, or it likes a bit of salt and a bit of moisture. Yeah, so that's, I think, I don't even know if that's edible, because if it's been maturing for, does she say how long? No, she doesn't, because if it hasn't got any salt, then the salt inhibits not only good bacteria but bad bacteria and slows down the aging process. And this is what's happened. Because there's no salt in it, all sorts of funky things have happened in the cheese cave. So yeah, not very good at all. So sorry, Lisa, I certainly wouldn't eat those. She said, right, so that's a failed one. Now she's got some amazing ones that did work. Says, I forgot to mention that the failed Munster cheese I emailed about was the first failed cheese I've made since I started making cheese in February of 2024. Here are some successful pictures I'm very proud of. I cannot thank you enough for everything you do to help guide me in my cheese making journey. Okay, so onto the successful pictures by Lisa. So this is a wine-washed cow's milk, not drunken cow. My daughters and I named this one Tipsy Lecter because it's drunk and Lecter after Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs, because I use Chianti. Very nice. Dr. Lecter's favourite wine. I'm extremely proud of this cheese. It's delicious. If I had to pick some favourite cheeses, this would be one of them. So there it is, cut into it. Very nice indeed. A good looking cheese there, Lisa. That's the current status of my cheese cave, minus the Munsters that went into the garbage, which are probably in the ripening boxes down there. You got some brine that you're storing there. You got amazing cheeses all vacuum packed there. So congratulations on a full cheese fridge. As I've said many times, happiness is a full cheese fridge, Lisa. All right, so moving right along. It says, this photo is the last of my bell cannoli with paprika rub, a Cotswold, a cloth-bound horseradish cheddar with a coconut oil rub. That would be maybe that one there, and that's the Cotswold. and a Hispanico, which is going to be 1 year old on the 25th of April. So that's probably the Hispanico there that looks fairly hard. The next one is more. Oh, hang on. More of cheeses from my cave. Half wheel of natural Rhine Gruyere, which is having its 1 year old birthday on the 16th of March. The Tipsy Lecter, a farmhouse cheddar, another cheddar, Asiago with rosemary and olive oil, which would be that one there. Alpine Blossom. No, can't see that one. Don't know where that is. Maybe it's that one there. At the bottom right. Bottom right? Yeah, that's bottom right. Hasn't got the flowers on just yet. So, yeah, getting there. There's some more photos. This one is my beautiful Cotswold. I can't wait to try this because it's Kim's favourite. It is an amazing cheese. And so at 3.9 pounds. Alexa, convert 3.9 pounds into kilograms. Alexa, convert 3.9 pounds into kilograms.
Good morning, Gavin. 3.9 pounds is about 1.77 kilograms.
Right, 1.77 kilograms. That's pretty heavy cheese. Well done, Lisa. And I think this might be the last one. This is her Roquefort. I don't know if she used sheep's milk, but it was superb. I need to make this one again soon. That is an amazing looking cheese, Lisa, that Roquefort. If you're watching, let me know. Shoot me the recipe or where you got the Roquefort recipe from, because I've seen multiple versions of Roquefort now, and I'm not sure which one to use because I haven't made it myself. And if you use sheep's milk, even better, because that's the traditional milk for a Roquefort. Oh, there's a sorry, right at the very end. There's one of the monsters again. Sorry, that one's out of order. Oh, because it's a PNG, not a JPEG. There we go. Yes, that is one sexy Roquefort indeed. Just one asbestos. I reckon that is so good, so good. So congratulations, Lisa. That is an amazing cheese. The amount of veining there blows me away. So I need to know your technique. I have cheese envy. I think that is the last photo. That is indeed. Righty. So how do you send photos to me? Well, what you do, my curd nerd friends, is you go to the channel page and you go to this bit here. It says, do you want to become a curd nerd? You just click on that and this little about thing pops up. Down here, channel details, view the email address. So you just click there, and that is how you find the email address to send all of your cheese making photos, whether they be failures or creations, or if you want me to be Dr. Cheeseman and diagnose something for you, then yeah, absolutely perfect, you can do that. So that's where you shoot the email. I won't click on it because I'll get spammed. But yeah, that's how you do it. Very cool indeed. So I'm sure there's some more questions that have come in during the chat, but they were amazing. So congratulations, Lisa. Party time in the chat there. Great looking cheeses. So there is some more questions. From where we go, Dominic, I think. Dominic says, in my area, cream lime milk is 4 times the cost of homogenised. Can I add cream to skim milk as a substitute? Dominic, that is a good question because that is coming up as a video soon. I am yet to experiment. Where is my Trello board? Just to show you. Here it is here. Making good milk from skim milk. I'm going to try it. I don't know if it works, so I don't have an answer for you just yet. But by adding back the fat as long as the cream is runny and it's pure cream, I don't think it'll be an issue. What we would have to do though is use Pearson square. So if we look for, I'll find the video for fat, calculating milk fat content for cheese making using Pearson square. Let me just get a link for you there. Okay, so we would definitely have to use this to get the milk back to the right level of fat. But whether it'll work and set a good firm curd, I'm not sure. Because we already know if we use skim milk, then the homogenization process is really null and void, because homogenization breaks up any cream, any large fat globules, which is the cream, and breaks them into lots of tiny ones so that the cream doesn't float to the top and the milk has the same consistency all the way through. And apparently it is easier to digest for humans. But because there is no cream in skim milk, then the homogenization process really doesn't matter. Just got to make sure that it's pasteurized and not ultra pasteurized or UHT. Then the milk will probably set a curd if you add cream back. This is my thought process. I have yet to test it. So that is in an upcoming video soon where I'm going to test that. And yeah, we'll see how we go. I've just got to get my hands on some pure cream to make sure that it actually works properly, and not some of the thickened creams that we get here in Australia, which have been thickened with, usually it's either carrageenan gum, I think that's how you say it, or gelatin. So those two products are used to thicken cream here in Australia, but I need pure cream because I don't want those thickeners in the cheese. Okay. Soul Brother says, I use my cheese, I put sun-dried tomatoes in for pasta dishes like lasagna. Indeed. So do I, and it's very nice. Oh, this is interesting. Okie Native says, I do a sun-dried tomato feta. That would be interesting as well, because you'd have to do the tomatoes pretty fine, I would think, because you're you're pickling the cheese in brine afterwards. The sun-dried tomatoes would probably swell up, I'm thinking. Let me know. Anina says, I've had issues with Munster. Always trapped way for me because the recipe doesn't involve pressing. Indeed. And it is difficult to get right. I managed to get mine okay because I put them into those little crock pot things. And when I ate them the first time, they were great. When I ate them the second time, they were way overripe. But you've got to get them just at the right amount of ripeness. So, but yeah, indeed. Kelvin says, I love the Hannibal nut. Thanks, mate. I did it just for you. There you go. Dark Shiz Maru says, I recently discovered the Great Stretch of Munster is now one of my favourite cheeses. It is a lovely cheese. Jeffrey says, my Alexa just answered your question. She wouldn't work first time for me. But yeah, sorry I triggered it. Goodness me. We're talking about the sexy Rogue 4. Question from Michelle says, doesn't my dehumidifier make food safe to put it into my cheeses? It has a temperature gauge on it for food safety. Look, removing the water from any product does make it safer because a lot of the bacterias, the harmful bacterias, reside in the water. So that's one point. For food's sake, I'm not sure what you mean by the temperature gauge. I don't have a dehumidifier or what are they, food evaporator or food, whatever they call it. I don't have one of those personally. However, to put it into cheese and to age it for a long term, and cheese being a medium that loves bacteria, good or bad, it is best to sanitize any materials you put into the cheese. And a good guide for those, I assume we're doing book reviews today. Lisa Peterson has a great book, Confident Cheese Making, and in there is a big table of, if I can find it, here we are, additives for cheese. It's page 100. Does it have, where's the additives? The whole additives bit? There we go. Chapter 10, Incorporating Additives into Cheese. It's starts on page 102, and there are a lot of information about making sure stuff is safe for your cheese. And there's just a quick, I know it's copyright, but yeah, anyway, there's a big table. It's 2 pages long. There's another page, and there's a whole bunch of information and references, which is good too. All scientific references about controlling microorganisms in your cheese and all that sort of stuff. So, absolutely make sure that you follow the instructions in that book for sure. It's a great resource, and I've never seen additives to cheese covered so well in a book before, because a lot of cheesemakers don't add things to their cheese. They're purists. I certainly know that I was to start with until I stumbled across the recipe for Cotswold, where that's the very first cheese that I actually added things into. And yeah, I did sanitize, and in that recipe it said sanitize your stuff up front. I didn't know how to do that, so I had to figure it out by trawling through, I think it was a cheese forum. There's a website called Cheese Forum. It's not very active anymore, but that back in the day when I first started cheese making, that was one of the very first places to find out good information about sanitizing stuff and all that sort of things. So yeah, using the oven, 15 minutes, 120 degrees Celsius, whatever that is in Fahrenheit. Alexa, convert 120 Celsius to Fahrenheit.
120 degrees Celsius is 248 degrees Fahrenheit.
248 Fahrenheit for 15 minutes, just on a tray. I put foil on the tray first and then put the additives. You would have seen that in the orange and walnut video. That's how I sanitized the walnuts. But yeah, definitely do that, because what can happen is, botulism, salmonella, a whole bunch of bad bacteria that can infect your cheese, and yeah, you won't know where they came from. Usually it's from the additives. Alrighty, next question. Sorry, Dark Shizmaro Maru says, that sounds akin to witchcraft. I must know this magic for myself. De-skimming skim milk. Indeed. It does sound a little bit like magic, but it's not. But I'm going to see if I can figure it out. Goodness me, I'm having some dramas today on the chat, and everything keeps. Oh, can I reload this? Right, there we go. It's working again. Goodness me. Rightio. So. I got some great ideas for videos from this episode. So one idea behind the scenes for the live stream, probably a members only video, which I'll do. So next live stream, I'm going to set another camera up behind the scenes, just over here somewhere, showing what I'm doing, and I'll do an explainer on all the things I'm doing. But yeah, I can't turn the camera around right now. It's fixed. It's fixed with a teleprompter on it. But yeah, I'll do a second camera angle, and in fact I can Yeah, I can. Yeah, anyway, I know what I'm going to do. I just figured it out. Another one is a book review, including school level, on multiple books. So yeah, I'm going to go through some of the cheese making books that I have, including my own. I'll throw that in there as well. Mine are more towards the beginners. They don't have pH levels and all that sort of stuff, but they're good books nonetheless. I put a lot of time into them. And dehydrated tomato Wensleydale is a cheese I'm going to put on my list, because that sounds very interesting, and Jason has obviously made that well, and we'll see what that turns. Hopefully he will send me a video, not a video, a photo of the final cheese. That would be really good as well. But anyway, oh, sorry. Michelle says my dehydrator. Ah, okay, yeah. Similar thing. Dehumidifier, dehydrator. But yeah, definitely sanitize those things. So, Dominic says fermenting vegetables is a good way to get comfortable cultivating certain bacteria and eliminating others. Indeed. The good thing about when you ferment vegetables is the acid and salt that you add protects the vegetables from the bad bacteria as well. So you're actually, when you're fermenting vegetables, you actually are cultivating lactic bacteria that's native in the environment. George, I think that's how you say it, says, I recently got into cheese making thanks to you. When drying a cheese before aging under vacuum sealing, air dry 1 to 3 days at room temperature, or air dry in the cheese cave at 10 to 13 until touch dry. Right. So there is, the answer can be both. So the answer is both. So if you've got a high acid cheese that hasn't had a washed curd, so if you haven't done a washed curd routine, like if you would like a Edam or a Gouda or Leerdama or Jarlsberg or Colby, which are all washed curd cheeses and have very low acid, they need to be air dried in the cheese cave at 10 to 13 degrees until they're touch dry. All other cheeses that have a high acid content that you haven't removed any whey and replaced with water, then they're okay at room temperature. And by room temperature, I mean between 18 to 21 degrees Celsius. Any higher than that, and if you can't maintain it at around those temperatures, then pop it into the cheese cave. It's the safest way to air dry your cheese. Now, I have a thermometer in my kitchen, so I know what the temperature is when I'm air drying the cheese. If it starts to go above 21, I'm bunging it straight into the cheese cave. So that's my advice to anybody who is air drying their cheeses. If they're air drying it too warm, then you're going to get rapid acid development, especially if you haven't salted that cheese yet, for whatever reason, as part of the recipe. But definitely keep it at the right temperatures during air drying. So, George, thank you so much for that question. I'm glad to clear that one up. Jose says, I have a big problem with the imperial system. As do I, mate. I'm brought up in metric. I have an app in my phone to convert the units into the metric system. In Spain, I learned the metric system at school. Indeed, here in Australia, we've had metric since 1972. So, and it works well for me. Even Kim, my wife, even though the UK was kind of metricified, had the metric system when she left, and she understood it mostly. Since coming to Australia, she said, she's told me many times, this metric system is amazing. And I went, yes. I hope everybody watching from the US, I'm trying to convince you that metric system is good. There's no dark art to it. It's just very, very simple. Jose says, I don't ask Alexa for any conversions. There you go. I do, because I got Alexas everywhere. Anyway, very cool. All right. We have 6 minutes to go, so I will wrap up if there's no other questions. And thanks to everybody who's asked a question so far. It's been fantastic to have so many varied questions today. which are great. But yeah, and some great video ideas. Thank you so much to everybody who gave me a suggestion for an idea. We're going to pay the bills now, as we do at this time of the day. If you... Herb says it's been a fantastic stream. Thank you, Herb. I appreciate it. If you want to learn how to make cheese, then pop over to the to courses.littleringworkshops.com.au. I'll just show you the page. It has been revamped. Where are we? Here it is. There we go. So there's the Curd Nerd Academy. If you go to courses.littlegreenworkshops.com.au, you can see the two courses there. I also have a consulting page where I charge $75 an hour for consulting if you want to work on your cheeses or what have you, or you want to ask me questions over an hour. That's what I charge. We've got the two courses, the beginner's course and the blue cheese course, and then we've got my books, Keep Calm and Make Cheese. We've got Keep Calm and Make More Cheese there, and a bundle with a discount. I think it's a 15% discount off of both of the books. And the books are ebook PDFs, so you can print them out, do whatever you want to do, and or use them on your Kindle or your iPad or what have you, and prop them up whilst you're making your cheese. So that is the courses. What else? Oh, of course, you can get your supplies over at littlegreenworkshops.com.au. That's the shop that Kim and I manage, and that, you know, we sell kits, supplies, equipment, and many of you are customers already. So thank you so much for buying our products. It also helps keep the roof on over our heads. And of course, lastly but not least, I'm not wearing one today, but merch over at merch.cheeseman.tv, and this is probably very suitable for the time period we're living in. Make cheese, not war. That's what I reckon. So, yeah, that cup's available over at merch.cheeseman.tv. Thank you, one and all, for joining the stream today. It's been lovely having you here watching the stream. Until next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.